COVID has been terrible times for many, but it has also led to many happy accidents. One such accident is my research topic, the post-war reconstruction of Hong Kong, which was at first merely a COVID side project. My research examines how parallel markets helped peripheral economies survive the foreign exchange crisis and imbalance in global trade after World War II. I investigate the costs and benefits of Hong Kong's reconstruction strategy, which centered on attracting illegal goods and capital with carefully designed parallel markets informally sponsored by the government. Although this alleviated supply shortages and rejuvenated entrepot trade, despite certain area restrictions, my project reveals the systemic fragility and political risk of such liminal arrangements.
Marco's MPhil thesis does what only the best studies can do. First, it turns conventional wisdom on its head. Second, it's superbly researched, even though COVID made it all but impossible to visit overseas archives. Third, as both of his MPhil examiners agreed, this thesis is beautifully written. It was a pleasure working with Marco and learning from him. I wish him all the best as he continues his studies at Oxford.
I would like to thank my supervisors, Professor John Carroll and Dr. Oscar Sanchez-Cipani, who were brilliant mentors and always provided me with excellent advice and new avenues of analysis. I am also grateful to my colleagues at the History Department for their assistance throughout COVID. Finally, I would like to thank my parents, who have always supported my academic pursuits. I would not be where I am today without them.
Ever since I was an undergraduate student, I developed an interest in planetary science. I found planetary science to be a fascinating field, fulfilling with surprising discoveries. There are many intriguing scientific questions yet to be answered. My thesis covers the origin and evolution of giant planets in the GG 1148 exoplanetary system. The hosting star in this system is an M dwarf, which is smaller and cooler compared to the Sun. We studied the origin of two Saturn-mass planets through the embodied simulation and the spin evolution of the inner planet of the GG 1148 system. Our results suggest that the initial system probably has 3 planets, and the current system can be produced by the ejection of a planet. Also, the inner planet's spin rate almost remains constant. However, it can vary significantly due to the eccentricity variation when the secular timescale close to the spin-down timescale. The results have important implications for the evolution of the so-called warm drifters.
I am absolutely delighted that Long Hui has been awarded the Ka Shing Prize for his MPhil research under my supervision. The work accomplished by Long Hui was much more extensive and comprehensive than is typical for an MPhil thesis. The results from his simulations, which he carefully checked, turned out to disagree with previous results published by other researchers. I wish Long Hui all the best in his PhD study and future career.
I'm deeply grateful to my supervisor, Dr. Man-Hong Lee, for his continuous guidance and support during my research journey. I extend my thanks to my lab mates for their assistance in numerical simulation and stimulating discussions. Finally, my sincere appreciation goes to my family for their constant love and encouragement.
My PhD research focused on the less explored area in suicidology by studying how multidimensional social contextual factors influence women's suicide mortality. Findings from my studies provide significant implications that suicide prevention requires a paradigm shift from the dominant individuals-focused psychological framework to a broader public health framework that attends to social and cultural context. This award is very meaningful to me, not only because it recognizes my work, but especially because it shows increased recognition of the importance of suicide research and suicide prevention. I want to express my deepest gratitude to my supervisor, Professor Paul Yeh, for his boundless expertise, professional guidance, and tireless dedication to my research. I'm also very grateful to the scholars whom I have had the fortune to learn and collaborate with during my PhD. Finally, I'd like to thank my family and friends for their unconditional love and support.
Ji has worked very hard and smart. Her thesis has made great impact on the designing suicide prevention strategies, globally and locally. The high quality of her thesis is witnessed by the fact that 4 papers which has been published in esteemed journals. I'm glad that Ji has been recognized for her exceptional contributions and her examples, which inspires others.
We used to think that cancers are impossible to cure, but then immunotherapies that harness our own immune system to fight against cancers are promising candidates that can help to cure cancers. There is chance that we can make something impossible possible. This attracts me to do research in cancer immunology and immunotherapies. My research focuses on the identification of potential combination treatment approach to enhance the efficacy of immune checkpoint inhibitor ICI in liver cancer. In my studies, I demonstrated that the induction of a particular form of cell death for apoptosis promotes anti-tumor immune response and works synergistically with ICIs. I also identified the mechanism of the accumulation of an immunosuppressive metabolite, adenosine, in the tumor microenvironment in liver cancer, and showed that targeting adenosine signaling also improves ICI efficacy. These provide mechanistic basis to identify potential combination treatment approach with ICI and improve clinical outcomes of patients.
Jaxi is a phenomenal research postgraduate student. She is highly talented with impressive research capabilities, but she remains to be humble, always striving for improvement. She is also a great teacher. She goes above and beyond to share her knowledge to the junior PhD students. Her genuine kindness and willingness to share is actually a reflection of her commitment to the success and growth of others. Having her as my PhD student and research companion is truly a privilege, and we will continue to support and inspire each other along the way in our scientific journey.
I would like to express my deep gratitude to Dr. Carmen Wong, my supervisor and mentor, for her unwavering support and guidance during my PhD study. She is always the role model showing me how to become a good scientist. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to my co-supervisor, Professor Irene Ng, for her support in the clinical studies in my projects. I would like to thank Dr. David Chiu, and sincere thanks to every team member. Last but not least, thank you, my dear parents, for their unconditional love and support. Without them, I do not think I can achieve all this.
When it comes to tropical forests, think of large jungles like the Amazon. They are basically massive carbon storage units. I used various satellite data and math tricks to figure out that tropical forests are disappearing faster and in different places during the early 21st century. This speedy forest loss is mainly because more and more land is being turned into farms and such, which releases a ton of carbon from the forest into the air. It's double the amount of carbon emissions from these forests. It's a big deal for our fight against global warming. We really need to step up and protect these tropical forests if we want to keep the planet's temperature in check.
I can still recall what I told you when I met him first time in my office. Tackling any difficulties should be from their easy parts, and working on any big tasks should be from small ones. Yu's research disclosed the features of tropical forest carbon loss in the past decades, and the results have been attracting worldwide attention. Yu, please keep going.
I want to give a big shout out to my amazing mentors, Professor Ji Chen and Professor Chunmiao Zheng, for their guidance and support. Also, a huge thanks to my collaborator, Professor Zheng Zhongzhen, for helping me explore the mysteries of our changing environment. And of course, my fantastic group members at Hong Kong U and SASTEC. Last but not least, I want to send a heartfelt thank you to my parents and my wife for being there for me. It wouldn't have been the same without your love and support.
Hi, 'Cause 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 ' found I'm interested in my research area, empirical asset pricing, when I was studying for my master's degree in finance. Back at that time, I was very lucky to have the opportunity to work as a research assistant for Professor Huang, who is my PhD advisor later. With his guidance, I realized I wanted to do research in this area, and later I decided to do my PhD in finance under the supervision of Professor Huang.
As the main supervisor of Hong, I'm so glad Hong has been awarded the Ka Shing Prize this year. He is a hardworking and talented student. He is also a dedicated and enthusiastic young researcher.
My research mainly focuses on two strands of studies. First, the impact of investor behavior on asset prices, and second, the impact of institutional features of asset management on asset prices. These studies can help all the market participants better understand why the financial market sometimes works inefficiently, and help the financial market regulators better design their regulations on the asset management industry. I'm especially grateful to my advisor, Professor Huang. He gave me tremendous support during my PhD study. His real passion for research has greatly inspired me to strive for greatness in the academic life.
I've been working with Hong for more than 6 years. I have witnessed his change from a naive master student to a solid researcher. He has made a lot of effort and has overcome many challenges in this process. I hope he can keep the momentum and grow into an excellent scholar.
I'm currently working at Hong Kong PolyU as an assistant professor in finance. I hope my research could help more people understand the impact of asset management on the financial market.